Hello! Hello, Paul. It's me, it's Fat Superman. Um, I know that photo, it's about 4.5 years old as well. Um, Not fancy, but it means, I don't know why I've not done it before. I go live and I go, hi everyone, just give me a minute whilst I do all my social media stuff. It means I can do that. So, I don't know why I've not done it before. But there we go. It works. That's all good. I've got a cup of tea. I've got everything set up. I'm not running about like a mad bastard while I've gone live going, just bear with me, I've not done my speaker. Hello, Phil. Um, I know, I don't even know why I look good on the pit. I think it's because it's black and white and it's like proper ages ago. Um, right, we've got 9 minutes yet before I press play. Make yourself a brew. Um, See, this is it now, isn't it? I've gone too early. I've gone too early, and I'm too ready. Oh, I can never get it right. Never get it right. And then the reality. Thank you, Paul. Indeed. I've had a shower. Look, wash my hair and everything. It's gonna go all. You're gonna watch it dry and go all curly as Full Metal Jacket continues. Um, Lucky I can go at all at my age. Never mind. Going too early. Right, shall we do the? We might as well do. What's worrier? We'll do the entry in the book. There we go. So, 1987, Full Metal Jacket. Because I think like everybody, I've never seen this one, so I'm doing it now. I thought this was about 5 hours long, and it's not. It's less than two. And I've only ever seen the beginning bit, obviously, the famous kind of like first 20 minutes or whatever. Um, and then I just stopped watching it. But anyway, here we go. So, Full Metal Jacket, Stanley Kubrick, 1987. Um, In Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon, 1975, the major battle scene depicts an engagement that the narrator tells us did not make the history books, though it was memorable enough for those who took part. When he came to make a movie about Vietnam, a little after the various angst-ridden and fantastical takes by Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now, 79, and Oliver Stone, Platoon, 86, the year before. See, I thought this was really old. I thought this was late 70s, this film. Had established an acid napalm haze cinematic vocabulary for that vocabulary. What a word to get stuck on for that war. Kubrick built on this approach. Full Metal Jacket presents a grunt level world in which all officers, commissioned or not, are ridiculous but deadly alien beings. Even hookers, we're told, are serving officers in the Viet Cong. And the trudging heroic Marines also take the high ground. Kind of pictures and nicknamed kids without a clue of where they are or what they're doing. Based on The Short Timers, an autobiographical novel by Gustav Hasford, with script input from Michael Herr, Full Metal Jacket is ruthless, comic, horrific, and affecting in equal measure, depicting areas of the war rarely glimpsed in movies. A long opening act is set entirely on Paris Island, the induction and training centre. After a montage in which long-haired young men are shown to become bold drones, no more distinguishable than the future folk of George Lucas's THX 1138. The film is commandeered by the astonishing Arlie Emery as Drill Sergeant Hartman, whose obscene, inventive, relentless abuse against all the recruits. I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around. It's like I'm being seen. Is designed to break down the maggots totally before they can be rebuilt as killing machines. In a lecture, Hartman takes pride in the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald and Charles Whitman learned to shoot in the Marines. The horrible irony of this sequence, which closely parallels the gladiator training regime of Spartacus, is that the logical payoff is the transformation of pudgy foul-up of Vincent D'Onofrio, I can never say his last name, Vincent D'Onofrio, into one of Kubrick's grotesque ape men with a primal glare that echoes the droogs of A Clockwork Orange and Jack Torrance in The Shining. The first thing the new-made Marine does is murder his tormentor, creator, and kill himself. I'll tell you what, it's a good job I have seen that first 20 minutes. After this, the Vietnam sequences are almost a relief. As Private Joker, Matthew Modine, a journalist, unbends a little only to be confronted with even more demented individuals. When asked how he can kill women and children, a helicopter gunner gives a technical answer, while a colonel remarks, "Son, all I've ever asked of my Marines is that they obey my orders as they would the word of God." The climax is a skirmish during a battle in the rubble of Hugh City, in which Joker's platoon encounter a female Viet Cong sniper. Nobody wins the encounter, and the Marines troop off into the night, singing the Mickey Mouse Club marching song. Only Kubrick would dare tweak Disney like this. There we go. A Vietnam film and nobody wins. Weird. Don't tell the Americans that. The term full metal jacket refers to small arms ammunition with a copper coating around the lead core. There we go. Wasn't it all? It's all completely filmed in this country, isn't it? Because Kubrick wouldn't leave the UK. What have I missed whilst I've been reading? It is the most knobby description ever of this film. The book always has loads of spoilers. The book ruins virtually every film we've ever watched. He is in Adventures in Babysitting. The little girl thinks he's Thor because he has a hammer. Which must be roughly around this same time as this. Late 80s? Adventures in Babysitting? Must be. It's on Disney Plus, Adventures in Babysitting, because I watched it not that long ago. I don't know why. He did. I mean, he's almost unrecognisable in Men in Black. He's put it all on again since. Shall we get started? Shall we just go if we're all here? We might as well, rather than waiting for 3 o'clock. Look at that. Look at that. I can't remember the last time we had 3. I'm going to get my pointing's always way out. I can't remember the last time we had 3. Rise of the Planet Apes is fantastic. And all 3 of those, I think Dawn's the best one, the middle one, but all 3 of them are ace. You got through the Mark Wahlberg one then, Phil, which is terrible, but the makeup's amazing. You poor sod. Right, well, if we're ready, remote controls in hand. Here we go in 5, 4. Oh, hang on. Before I start. Oh, always a false start at my age as well. There you go. Yeah, Tim Roth is great in it. I've got adverts because I recorded this off TCM. So if you are... give over, oh my God. Capital letters as well. I'm passive aggressive. I've got adverts, so if you're watching on DVD or Blu-ray or digital, you'll have to pause it. I'm not going to pause the timestamp. I'll get through it quite quickly, I think, but you will be slightly ahead of me, is what it means at some point, probably. Right, so if we are ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play. Oh, I fucked that up. I pressed close rather than start. There we go. We're all good. What a dick. See, it seemed professional with the countdown at the beginning, but it all went wrong afterwards when I appeared on screen. Ugh. Bloody hell. I'd be absolutely crying. It is because I got cocky with the and, I didn't I? And... oh, shit. There we go. I mean, I'm sure they could have shaved the head slightly more gentler than that. It does prove it's live. Oh, this will be you in October. Blimey. You should film it like this. You should film it and have this song on. I'm assuming Paul here, by the way, when he says who's doing the shaving, he means who's shaving Sarah's head, not who's doing the shaving in Full Metal Jacket. Why is she having a panic about it? Surely it must be the easiest thing in the world. Sir, yes, sir. This is a lot like my first lesson in September to my new fishies. I definitely call them pubes, that's for sure. There we go. Sir, yes, sir, we do. When you say your dad knew this whole monologue off by heart, did he sit down and learn it? Or did he just watch the film lots? No, not even casual. Why does he live with his sister? The old auteur business was. Have we had this conversation before? Was Kubrick really that good? Because we definitely had the conversation before that The Shining is proper boring. Matthew Modine, of course, Private Joker, who's in The Dark Knight Rises. That, I reckon that's the first time Kubrick has ever been compared to Uwe Boll. There we go. There's the famous line. Um, it's one of those. It's one of those scenes you can't actually talk through, isn't it? It is a great line. Did your parents have any children that lived? I mean, surely only the only good bit of this film is this bit. This bit is the only reason this film's on the list, right? I wouldn't be able to not smile through this whole bit. I'd end up just telling him to fuck off. It's this idea that there's loads of them. There's like 20 of them and one of him. Just tell him to fuck off. It's this idea of just being trained to do as you're told. You've not done this thing, right? So go and run around that field. No. And not one of them was going, sorry, what did he say? What were the lyrics there? No, I don't. I just don't. Don't get it. And this is all like knock you down to build you up bullshit. Oh no, I haven't. The swears aren't censored in my chat down the side. I can't do right and left. See, I'd be knackered here as well. Another reason why I couldn't be in the military. By the left, quick march. Which one? That's definitely Paul Watt. I think I've seen Paul do that. It was on TV when I watched this beginning bit. I was far too young to be watching it, I think. What's a load of shit? And then we wonder why people go crazy and shoot kids in supermarkets. I mean, it's very similar to the first Police Academy film, isn't it, really? Do you know, I was thinking something very similar. He's so watchable. His whole performance is like magnetic, but this is all he can do. So basically, he's just a right wing racist asshole. It is. Emery's character here is basically Captain Harris. I'd like to think that he improvised all these songs he's doing. Hey ho, the boat, hey. I mean, it's already, and I know we're 12 minutes in, but it's already much more exciting than the entirety of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. I wouldn't be able to do this. I could never do the whole monkey bars thing. I'd have never got a part in this film. Plus, I don't think they were auditioning many 9-year-old lads from Lee for parts in Full Metal Jacket either. Can't climb a rope. Gladiators! Can you feel the power of the gladiators and the pugil sticks? It is. The Shining's just. It's one of them. If I'd not seen The Shining and had to watch it for this, I'd be going, really? It's like you have to pretend to like it, or you have to be shamed into liking it, don't you? There's no way he can't get over that. It's rubbish. And then when you hear the stories about what Kubrick did to what's her face, Shelley Duvall, when she was making it, what's her face, how incredibly respectful of me. Um, it just makes it even worse. He was. And lazy. How do you make about 4 films? I think the best Kubrick film I've seen is Spartacus. But when you consider that he made Spartacus, the same director who made Spartacus made this and Eyes Wide Shut, it's crazy. No, Hitchcock was just a psychopath. How's he supposed to get over it with those people so close to him? I mean, this is very much like every PE lesson that I had in the early 90s. Sorted the pictures, Eyes Wide Shut. I remember just thinking, is this not finished yet? Literally all the way through. It just makes no sense. It's nothing happens in it. I remember being in year 11 at high school and thinking, and to be honest, PE wasn't that bad. I'd kind of I'd kind of cultivated this reputation of us being shit at PE, but being quite funny whilst being shit at PE. So my PE teachers were okay. And I remember thinking my last PE lesson is going to be like a huge thing, right? It's going to be like, this is the last one. Come on. Um, and I never had that moment because in between my penultimate PE lesson and my last PE lesson, um, I injured my foot and couldn't do PE in what would be my last ever PE lesson. No, people only went to watch Eyes Wide Shut because of Kidman's tits, not because of Cruise and Kidman. But yeah, mostly. And fancy giving up a year of your life and having to live over here just to film that bullshit as well. Look how clean that bin is. It's like Dusty Bin from 321. The Virgin Mary would have had a shit in any dirty old hole because that's what they did back in those days. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman didn't shag for real in real life, never mind in Eyes Wide Shut. Allegedly. Libel. All this bloody shouting. It's true. I might clip that bit for later. Apparently, I should be to try and get more viewers. I should be making clips and encouraging people to watch this. Can you imagine? Um, slander is spoken, but if it's broadcast, it becomes libel. So you're right, libel in the olden days when it was first. Oh, hang on, adverts. Right, we'll get back to this in a minute. Let me fast forward through my adverts. Hang on. There we go. Oh, exit wounds. I missed that when I recorded this. Yeah, so obviously back in the olden days, that was a discussion, but as soon as we got broadcastable stuff, um, so anything spoken that's broadcast, because it's about hearing it again and again, isn't it? The whole thing with slander is you say it once, it's not said anymore, but libel, you can keep reading it. Oh, look at that lie. So it's the same with broadcast stuff. You know this now. I don't know why I'm talking about this over and over again. Is he literally training him how to lace up a shoe there? Yeah, so I'm slightly behind you guys now. Don't forget, he's trying to get his leg over the apparatus. I mean, to be honest, I'd probably fall to my death on this piece of apparatus as well. Autumn. I was just, as I was reading that, Phil, I was just about to say, no, that's fine because it's not a lie, and then I knew I could rely on you to finish off the joke there at the bottom. Oh, I can't wait to post all this on YouTube later that no one will watch. James Grundy's not scared of me. What's £80 in real money? £14 to a stone. I mean, he doesn't. He's not even that fat in it, is he? I remember in my head he's like massive, but watching it again, he's not. He's not fatter than me. Here we go. Look at this beautiful English countryside here. This is best. This is the end of Dad's Army. This is you have been watching, and they're walking across the grass. About €4. I thought so. Thanks, Paul. 5.5 stone. Christ. He's not even that fat. How skinny must he have been? Do. Oh, I'd love this to end in the Dad's Army ending. Full Metal Jacket. You have been watching. But this whole opening bit works. It sucks you in. That's a good point. What had we were watching it live, weren't we? Weren't we watching it? And we talked about it having a Dad's Army ending. I think it might have been one on the list. What does he play Orson Welles in? Because it's Tom Hardy and not Tom Hardy. Tom. Oh, what's his bloody name? In Mank, it's what's its son. The guy played Watson in Sherlock Holmes. It was Platoon, I think, wasn't it? It was Platoon. Did all you have been watching Charlie Sheen as? I think it was. Jam donut. Never seen Ed Wood. Is Ed Wood on the list? I don't think it is. Although Ed Wood's no, because I can't watch things with Johnny Depp in anymore. Just can't do it. I mean, that jam donut will be absolutely rock hard, won't it? It's just. I reckon it'd be so hard to keep your hands out like that. Well, there's that element as well, I suppose. Does he? I have to close my eyes the next time he's speaking. There you go. Swap that round. If Doc Brown was. Everybody hates you, Leonard. Everybody. I'd have eaten the donut. I'd have also not done those press ups. I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit the other night. Not last night, the night before. Um, and I still love it as much as I always did. What I found watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit, much to, I think, to the Canadians' annoyance, is that I knew almost every line off by heart. Even the bit I told her to listen out for the bit where Jessica Rabbit's singing in the club at the beginning, and she grabs hold of his tie and she pulls him up like that. Just before she sings the last word, you hear a bloke go, "Ooh," and I went, listen out for it," and she pissed herself. You got plenty money, and yeah, you hear this bloke go, "Ooh," and it's so good. I mean, it's the whole. We'll replace the sex scandal with patty cake. It's just, it's not a kids' film. It's not a kids' film. It's so good. I think it was the first film noir I ever watched. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Absolutely amazing. Or is this one to put all the soap in socks and then batter in with it? Yeah. I saw Roger Rabbit at the cinema. It was the first film I ever watched at the cinema without my parents. Me and a couple of mates went um, to see it. This bit always reminds me of the fact that in not Murder on the Orient Express, it's all 13 that kill him. This reminds me of this. Each one stabs him. I've got Star Trek Five: The Final Frontier on digital download. It came in the 10 film box set that I bought. I then have never watched, obviously, but I just felt I don't know. Shall I check see if it's in 4K? Um, um, I bought it because I thought it would come in useful for a possible watch-a-thon. I've gone out of focus. There we go. What's going on? There we are. Kill, kill, kill. I mean, this section of this film is one of the best thing Kubrick's ever done. Yeah, your downloads get automatically upgraded to 4K when the 4K versions come out. So I'm checking to see. I think that's why I turned it off when I was a kid. No, just HD, not been upgraded yet. I'm not sure though if Private Pal would have fallen into psychosis quite as quickly as he appears to have done. Happy birthday, Jesus! Happy birthday, dear Jesus! Oh, brilliant! It's bang on 9:30 when he said there'd be a magic show at 09:30. That's the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing that's ever happened. You wouldn't even do Star Trek if we did all 13 films in a like a 24-hour watch-a-thon. I love the fact that he's a big god bother as well. It's this it just, yeah. Are you a religious nut and should be tolerant, or are you a big hard right madman? Yes, yeah, would include the Chris Pine ones. That takes it to 13 films. Yeah, so 1 to 10 would take us all the way up through to Nemesis with Tom Hardy making his motion picture debut, um, and then the Three Pine ones. But that wouldn't be. We'd use that as a like like there was an earthquake somewhere and loads of people were killed. We'd do an emergency watchathon. We'd use it for that, I reckon. And I think, even though there's 13 films, we could probably fit it in. Well, it'd be more than 24 hours, but we could do a midnight to whatever time in the morning one. Exactly. The three Nolan Batmans are equivalent to about 7 Star Trek films. I've never seen Generations all the way through. I've seen well, I haven't seen Motion Picture, so I've never seen the first one. Then I've seen 2 to 6, obviously. I've seen First Contact, and then I've never seen all of the next generation ones. I've seen a bit of all of them, I think, and then obviously the Pine ones, which are amazing. But I think I've never seen Motion Picture because obviously everyone goes, "Oh, it's rubbish." That's why you know. Then they made. So I never bothered watching Motion Picture. But I've seen Wrath of Khan about 48 times. I think they poo and don't avoid eye contact. I reckon they're right on it, aren't they? I reckon that's how it goes. Well, they were doing Star Trek, weren't they? They were doing the serious sci-fi movie that they were. Charlene. The TV show as well, you go back and watch the original series, is beautiful. The lighting is just incredible. Absolutely beautifully shot, beautifully directed, beautiful. See, I don't even remember this bit being this long. I mean, it's only. I think this is why I thought it was like a 5 hour film, because this bit's the opening act and goes on forever. And then the rest of the film's like an hour long or something. It's only an hour 56. Oh, Shatner's amazing. He's amazing. This is Dad's army running across with the things. Da, 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 da. See, look at that's completely different. The graduation ceremony, which is clearly filmed somewhere else in America because they need a proper graduation, but it doesn't fit with everything else. I love it. You'll all go to Vietnam. You probably won't come home now. Marines just die, mate. It's just the indoctrination. It's just bullshit. Cowboy. 4212. Oh, the old eyes there of Private Pile. I mean, this should have just been the entire film. This. He's on his fire watch. You'll only be about what 30 seconds in front of me. He's just shone his torch on the head word on the door. I don't get how you could have been, how you were behind. They can't have edited it for TV if I'm in front. I mean the version that you're watching. There you go. He's on the toilet now. He's sat doing his little grin. If they'd edit it for TV, I'd have less and you'd be in front. That's weird. That's so weird. Yeah. The stream lag is really odd. Yeah, you're right, Paul. It's too early, mate. It's too early. Full Metal Jacket. All films should contain the title of the film. I mean, he's been doing that face for about 3 months, right? So this should have really worked it out. Massively red blood. I mean, he died instantly, which again is like. And he was asleep in that, don't forget as well. He's just thrown it on dead quick before he came out. You weren't there, man. You weren't there, man. It's not that bad then. You'll catch up when I get my adverts. That worked really well. And then I think we skip to Vietnam now, don't we? And oh no, we've got adverts. You keep going, and I'll fast forward. It might be in the adverts where they've put the bits in, the breaks in. Right, I'm nearly back. I'm back. There we go. And it starts with these boots are made for walking. That's what I've got. Boom, boom. I know I mean, there's literally an hour and 12 minutes left. That's it. And yeah, I think at age 12 or whatever I was, I switched it off now. Once Modine's grown his hair back, that's it, I'm done. Me so horny. I mean, it's so cliche, the me so horny, but obviously comes from this. I mean, it's like she's dancing to the music that she can't hear. But he wouldn't leave the UK. Was it not a case of filming all this bit, realizing it was shite, and going, we've got to film a good bit at the beginning? No, he wouldn't, would he? Well, perhaps it is he couldn't. But I thought he wouldn't fly, he wouldn't travel because he's a Yank, isn't he? He's American. Came over here, loved it, wouldn't leave. It's like the bit at the beginning of. We probably talked about this during the Bondathon as well. At the beginning of tomorrow, not tomorrow now. At the beginning of Die Another Day, when it's the big hovercraft chase. Yeah, the hoverboard chase. The hovercraft chase in Korea is just a field in Bedfordshire or something, isn't it? Hello! No, none of it was filmed in Canada because he didn't go anywhere. Oh, she won't be. She won't have the sound on. We'll just have to nod or shake our head. Never seen Lolita either, which is on the list. So we're going to have to do Lolita at some point. Yeah, I reckon. I think I possibly made it this far and then just went, oh, no. No, the joke, Paul, is that she thinks everything's filmed in Canada. We can't watch a film without her going, oh, you see that I've been there. Yeah, I used to live around the corner from that, and it's like, but it's set in New York. This is just like, no, no. See, no sound, just watching. Here you go. Um, is that the Canadian there? It is. Look, everyone, we're up to 4 viewers. 4. Early morning dew. I want another cup of tea, so I'm gonna go and have one. See, yeah, it was definitely right about here. It went from crazy like stuff to sitting around a table talking. Well, I think we've made it that I can't now post this on YouTube. Is it? Is it? Phil, is it a terrible like horror film that she'll hate? Is it now? Is it? Is it really? Oh, is it though? It is, and she'll just go. She's possibly gone by now. I'll remind her. No, that is very true. And if they do watch it, Paul, they definitely don't get 50 minutes in. So she's literally going to cry all the way through it. That's what you're telling me, right? Look at it. It's a field in Milton Keynes. Private Joker, though, has just said, I'm fucking bored to death, man. And he couldn't have spoken my mind more. It's like, why have they continued to use the nicknames that the raging mental racists gave them all? I mean, Joker's not even funny, is he? I mean, this is the year after Platoon as well. So can you imagine you watched Platoon and you went, "This is good," because it was. Um, and then you watch the first 45 minutes of this and you go, "Jesus, this is good." And then this cuts in now and you just go, "What's this bit? Is it telling us anything that we've not seen before?" And that's your fault. That's your fault that she's still called Dave. Ruined her life. Poor Mia. Because it is filmed in the UK. Oh, she calls herself Dave. Oh, that's all right then. Because it is filmed in the UK, it lacks the atmosphere of Platoon. You're my wife now, Dave. She is a legend. Something's on fire there. To put that out. It does like the jungle, doesn't it? It does. It lacks the sweaty. What's the word I'm looking for? Claustrophobia. It just looks like that looks like a miniature. Predator in Worsley Woods would look better than this. That should be the next because we're doing Prey tomorrow morning. All I do is not is pray for a new Predator film. Empire give it 4 stars. So a Vietnam film, it does like Vietnam. But the sequel to Prey should be set in Worsley Woods. It's like they've just planted a couple of palm trees. Yeah, but even they said that was a mistake. It's not the 5 stars for Phantom Menace that's the issue. It was the 5 stars for Attack of the Clones, which was the issue. They got swept up in the excitement of Phantom Menace, like we all bloody did. Might grow out of it. It's like this. This isn't Vietnam. They're in this like bunker thing, right? They'd be roasting. They'd have sweat. They'd not even bothered spraying their faces with water to make it look like they're sweating. Some of us are 44. Some of us are. It's like all of the zingers that Joker has aren't funny either. It'd be pouring down them. It's in the background. Watch out for like an ice cream van driving past. That cup of tea is definitely happening. Ugh. There you go. Let's get some stock footage of Vietnam. My kettle is a more realistic noise than these helicopters. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is intentional. I think it's one of those things that always happens, doesn't it? It's the idea if you have a character in a film who's supposed to be witty or the funny one, they never are. Yeah, that sort of thing. And it's why, even though everybody raves about it, it's why I can't watch that Mrs. Maisel thing because the stand-up comedy bits aren't funny. It's definitely Wales or something like that. Look at that. That's the River Glaze in Lee. That my kettle's boiled. Oh, not only do I not believe um, what we're on here. Kettle's boiled would be a great name. The film with Sally Field breaking into stand up is it's got Tom Hanks in it. Punchline, yeah. Tom Hanks kind of is a young, wild and crazy stand up. And she gets into stand up and they have an affair. I've seen Punchline, it's decent. But again, it's not a funny film, Punchline, is it? It's a drama about comedians, which is weird. I just don't really understand what's going on now. Like, what's the story they're telling here? I mean, just as they pull back on all the dead people there. Yeah, there we go. I'd read about the Isle of Dogs thing before. I think it's 20. Can you count them? Yeah, but we know war's bad. We don't need this bit to tell us. We know war's bad just based on that first 45 minutes, which was quite good. Now look at that. The first 45 minutes absolutely flew by, right? We've done 17 minutes since, and it's dragged a bit. It has. It's been 17 minutes since. I'll take a giant shit on you. Yeah, it's surprising how much warfare pushes progress on. I mean, look at those palm trees. Clearly not hot enough for them to be growing there, and so they're just going, please, no more. That is just a disused Chinese restaurant in Rotherham. But the music's decent, isn't it? But that's the same with any bloody Vietnam film. Um, Wooly Bully always just reminds me of John Candy. That's true. If only that was true. Oh, it's only 19 minutes ago that they last saw one another. Recognise one another with hair. It'll be my adverts. Again, look, they're not dirty enough. They're not sweaty enough. John Lennon's in a war film. What's John Lennon in? Can't think what it's called. Ooh. It's like a. Oh, what was it called? Anyway, this. He does. For a man who does a John Wayne impression all the time, right? Private Joker does a John Wayne. It's the third time we've heard him do a John Wayne impression. He's really shit at it. It's like the one impression he does is really rubbish. You'd think he'd only do it if he was dead good at it. It's like the war film John Lennon's in. It's like something like How We Won the War or something. How I Won the War, 1967. There you go. Well, this has got who was it? Was it Piers Morgan got into trouble, didn't he, for publishing those? Was it the pictures of in the Gulf? They were still doing stuff like this. It's just loads of bloody monologuing. Oh, I'm on adverts. This film is definitely on the list for that opening 45 minutes. The, wrong hand. This. Definitely this. I reckon they had to keep moving all the palm trees around. They only had like 15 and they had to keep moving them. Look at it. Why does he push that out? Why didn't he just walk around it? These palm trees are planted like 17 feet apart. And he pushed the leaves out of the way rather than just walking around it. It's absolutely terrible. How are you supposed to watch Platoon in '86, then watch this the year after and go, yeah, that's Vietnam? There's just no tension. No tension in this at all. It does. It lacks everything. It lacks storyline. It lacks atmosphere. It doesn't say anything that Apocalypse Now and Platoon didn't say better. They filmed the second bit in black and white just to hide the fact that it was filmed just outside Cleethorpes. It is like that. It is like that. And Phil referenced this on Facebook the other day. He was watching one of the Planet of the Apes films and referenced the old filmed in Milton Keynes. It's like they couldn't be arsed with this bit. And I know they filmed this bit first, but it's like, well, we just need to film this bit. And then we need to film like the really good bit that we're going to do at the beginning. Conquest. There you go. I knew he'd watch. He'd referenced it at some point. I did. I covered a quiz on Monday, and there was a picture of Cornelius in Planet of the Apes, and the question was which actor played this role in Planet of the Apes, and nobody knew it. Nobody got it right. I was absolutely distraught. Well, of course, Liverpool's still dining out on Gotham. That only happened last year. Whereas Milton Keynes, Metropolis. It's the little, it's the little fire hydrants that make it for me. They put a little fire hydrant on. Here we go. A bit more music. Yeah, just a little, just a little bit. He's got to the point now where he's just going to go in. Let's just put some music on and show some helicopters landing. I mean, the good news is we've only got about half an hour left. I bet the Beatles once gigged in Milton Keynes as well. Did Milton Keynes even exist in the 60s? When was Milton Keynes built? Do you know in Batman when Vicky Vale comes to Gotham and she's made a name going to war zones and taking photos? Um, and the Joker's flipping through her. Jesus, he's doing crap, 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 and he goes, "Oh yeah, I like this." Um, that Kim Messenger being a war photographer is more realistic than this moment here with them filming this. January 1967, is that when Milton Keynes was built, or is that when the Beatles played Milton Keynes? They did. They played Rubens, or what was Rubens at the time, and is now no longer Rubens because it's flats. I don't believe that they've got. Oh, so the Beatles never played Milton Keynes then. There we go. Um, it means that Milton Keynes was less than 20 years old when it stood in for Metropolis in Superman 4. Um, Fun fact, I never stepped through the door of Rubens. Never went in it, ever. It was on Lord Street, about halfway up on the left hand side. Like where you'd turn off for the post office. There you go, post office. Edwin Starr used to play there quite a lot. My sister and brother in law used to go and see him. Linking to war, what is it good for? Medicine and technology that we got earlier on. Everything has a link. Everything has a link. If there's any worth to this at all, it's for me. It's the links that are made as we go through. Well, it was Fletcher's. It wasn't Toff's when I used to go in it. Kevin Bacon's probably seen this film. It's like these bits. Now let's do some talking to camera bits. It's no more realistic than the plasticine animals. This bit, I could just see a plasticine tiger going, "Hey, it was great in Vietnam War. We were like, we had to shoot lots of people if we wanted to. Sometimes women and children, but it would what? Yeah, I'll have a bit. Well, um, but they've not even bothered to like filter any of these bits that are like being recorded. You're supposed to see through the. I'd love to see. They don't even have to just do this bit from Full Metal Jacket. They don't even have to refilm some bits or get some northern people to talk about it. Just do these as creature comforts. Yeah, just make it a bit grainier. Change the aspect ratio. Because look, he's looking direct down the camera there, so that's like the shot we're getting. Well, some of the shots have the camera in, all right, so fair enough. But that should have an effect on it. I hate Vietnam. There's not one horse in this country. Is that a well-known fact? Vietnam is horseless. Look at it. There's not a bead of sweat. I know I keep banging on about it. How long have you been waiting for that, Paul? How long have you been waiting for that to say any of this? How long? I wait till we're 1 hour 20 in. Christ almighty. Kubrick is an arsehole. Long time. He is. He is definitely dead. Although due to his film output, we probably wouldn't have noticed. There we go. You've got to have the scene where everyone takes the cock out. It is awful. I tell you, it's only on the list for the first 45 minutes. The only reason anybody thinks this is a decent film is for the first 45 minutes. Everything else is just people walking around England with stuff on fire in the background. This film probably has done more for global warming than anything else than China. The bloody black smoke that's going on. Just set fire to some tyres, it'd be fine. The whole film could have been the first 45 minutes. We could have added a lot more about people's characters. It said a lot more about war being shit as well, than what we're training them to do. Even when the landmines go off or people get shot, it's like, it's completely unrealistic. There was a landmine then, he just went down. Based on this fact alone, I might do Phantom of the Opera this afternoon. Not live, just as my 300th. Oh, it's my 300th next, so I need to do the 300th live, don't I? I mean, really unrealistic CPR going on here now as well. Stomach's rumbling, hungry. It's all this dead meat. Good God. Don't even. I mean, it's like an elongated meatloaf video. They probably still think it's obscene. I'll make sure she knows. Hang on. We should be here, but we're here. This 20 minutes bit here, we're going, you should be here, but we're here. I think Phantom of the Opera is the first film I saw Gerard Butler in. Was it before or after Tomb Raider 2? The Phantom of the Opera. If it was before, it's the first film I saw Gerard Butler in. If it's after, it's the second film I saw Gerard Butler in. These kind of crazy facts is what you tune in for, right? Yeah, it was weird that as well. I suppose it's one of those, for us in the UK, it was weird to see Jennifer Ellison in it. For everybody else, it might not have been as weird, but it was terrible casting. It's like the girl out of Hollyoaks is in The Dark Knight. Mandy, the girl who plays Mandy, who's from Lee or Lowton or wherever she's from, um, is in The Dark Knight. Well, in that case, Tomb Raider 2, Cradle of Life is the first film I saw Gerard Butler in. Oh, the Canadian has replied to the fact. Sarah Dunn, yes. Yeah, she's Eric Roberts' girlfriend. You only really see her from the back and side. Oh, adverts. Oh, we've not long left here. Not long left. There you go, we're back on. The Canadian has replied with definitely rude! Exclamation mark. It sucks, definitely rude. Oh, more very red blood. What we've seen it's a film about Vietnam. We've seen 3 people get killed. We've hardly seen any enemies either. I assume because we couldn't get that many Vietnamese actors in England. Yeah, like made it a bit kind of dirtier. Just too red, too red. He just made it up as he went along, Kubrick. And I get, how many films do you see with an unknown enemy? Right, so you never see, in Dunkirk, you never see the enemy. In Master and Commander, you never see the boat that they're after. Right, you never see the enemy. It works really well, the unseen enemy thing. But for this, I mean, the enemy is so absent that it just becomes obvious that they just didn't have enough people. I think we're being set up for an ambush. All right, so here we go. This is the battle that nobody wins. Then Paul's leading the international playboy lifestyle there. I mean, we had that whole 45 minutes about the importance of following orders, right? And the fact that they drill them so hard. There you go, someone else shot. They drill them so hard that they just follow orders blindly. Yet, but he shouted ceasefire, ceasefire about 1,000 times, and people don't bother. I think this is worse than Deer Hunter. Certainly the Vietnam bit. The first 45 minutes is miles better than Deer Hunter. Fuck all, Paul. That's what you missed. First 45 minutes, miles better than Deer Hunter, and probably one of the best 45 minutes of anything we've seen. That might give it an extra star when we come to review it. But the rest of it, at least the Vietnam bits in Deer Hunter, I felt that they were in Vietnam. When was Eyes Wide Shut 98? 99 was it, Eyes Wide Shut? 99, Eyes Wide Shut. So, 12 years to prep Eyes Wide Shut. It is completely true. Lots of TV shows do it better. Doctor Who made a quarry look more like an alien planet than this makes Norfolk look like Vietnam. Where's the sniper? That was very nice of him. Yeah, this is Isle of Dogs. Still looks like this. The bloody Isle of Dogs, as if. As if. London's not polluted enough. Set fire to some old tyres on the Isle of Dogs. The locals were all like, why is the flying beast? Phil. I don't think I've ever been to Norfolk. I've not. I've always been frightened that they'd think I was beautiful and keep me. I mean, but if you listen carefully, you can hear Big Ben chiming in this section. Never been to Norfolk, never been to Suffolk. Yeah, and an ice cream truck going past. I have to get my hands and knees to get through all the doorways. I think my overriding memory of Full Metal Jacket is the video being advertised for sale on the back of like a Sunday supplement magazine. You get the people killed him. There you go. Cowboy's dead. People magazine and the Sunday supplement with it, and on the back it'd be like Video Club and Full Metal Jacket would be for sale. So it always reminds me of that, which is possibly coloured my opinion of it. I'd be the Wicker Man. They'd use me as the model. No, Cowboy's dead. Been putting that bloody bandage on him was like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not bad dying acting, to be fair. Now that I'd have liked to have seen, like a St John's ambulance man running on. You could, if you couldn't have a battle in Vietnam without sending one St John's ambulance trained person with you. When we went to see Richard III in Stratford the other week, um, there was a warning about how they use latex balloons in the play, and one of them's burst. So if you've got a latex allergy, just be careful. Stand back, St John's ambulance coming through. Ooh, ooh, that's nasty, isn't it? Look at that. Get me some gauze and some witch hazel. We'll put that on. Right, has anything funny happened during this stream that I should clip into like an advert for the stream? You're a cadet sergeant in St John's Ambulance. Um how old were you? Oh my god! And Sarah was a St John's Ambulance Junior Regional Award winner. What's going on? I didn't realise it was a St John's Ambulance reunion. I couldn't get the beret on. So you were a sergeant, but you were only 15. I like how they have how they have ranks. Surely there was more to do than St John's Ambulance, though. And why don't we call it St John's Ambulance? And is that the only reason you did it, to get in the football for free? See, now they've put some tension building music on, but because it's the 80s, it sounds like the Terminator. We cover all bases, don't we? We talk about the St John's Ambulance, and then we do have statements that compare the Cubs to the Hitler Youth. That was terrible. That slow motion spinning round shot. That's possibly one of the greatest comments ever to appear on Twitch ever. Well, there we go. All the secrets are coming out now, aren't they? Eh? No one will get to 1 hour 42 of this video on YouTube either, so we're all alright. I'm desperate for a piss, but I'm scared I'm going to miss fuck all. You were kicked out of the choir because you couldn't sing, or you were kicked out of the choir because your mum wouldn't shag the vicar? Someone going to say it's just a child, or a line like that. I don't know. Lee's Laser Quest was better than this. Why not? Why doesn't he want us to share the gun fact? In case I read it out. Oh, well, I won't read it out, I'll just read it. I was only quicker because I'm speaking it rather than typing it out. What does Oscar think of Full Metal Jacket? Just in one word. And if Oscar's watching, he needs to watch it separately so my viewing figures go up. I might start watching it myself so my viewing figures go up. Nothing we can do for her. You just shot her at point blank range. That's Oscar's one word review of Full Metal Jacket. No. There was no one on the door. Plus, I'd have let him in anyway. You're on it today, Paul. There's a bit of 80s synth going on in the background. What's work? I haven't thought about it for 4 weeks. I dread to think what my inbox looks like. It's not a euphemism. Is Janet Jackson a former pop star? Is she not still a pop star? Is that how it works? Because she's not released anything for ages, she's former pop star. So, in between this and Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick was former director. Oh, okay. Just no tension. No tension. They just shot this little girl to put her out of her misery. No tension. Well, your former now because he's dead, but Janet Jackson's not dead. Yeah, this film should have just been the training bit, but stretched out to 2 hours. This bit, I think, is also a scene in London's Burning. Here we go. Terrible voiceover. Oh, I wouldn't count Lucas as ever being a director ever. Even when he was doing it, he wasn't. Faster, more intense. Oh, it's the Mickey Mouse Club. That means it's the end. Well, I could definitely live my life without singing that extra hour and 15 minutes. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Without sounding wanky, it doesn't say anything, does it? How's it still not gone off? Are they still singing the Mickey Mouse Club? Mickey Mouse. Right at the end, I've got credits now. They would have painted it black. Music's decent in it. Everything else, absolutely terrible. Platoon was brilliant compared to this. That's what they should do. They should re-edit, the Toby Jones Dad's Army film. Stick the first 45 minutes on the beginning. Private Pike instead of Private Pile would have been amazing. Music is standard Vietnam, yeah. Right. Our next one is number 300. So we should probably do it live, right? Shall we do one Saturday night? Let's do one Saturday evening. I'll think of a time, perhaps 7:30ish. 300 weirdly not on the list. But yeah, something special for 300. I'll have a look at what we should do. Pick a good one, decent one. Pick something widely available as well. Cool. So I'll have a think. I'll post later on today what we should do for Saturday night for 300. And then Prey tomorrow morning. And we'll be watching Prey tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Thank you all very much for joining in. Have a lovely rest of your day. See you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.